Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
A fatal wound that wasn't a spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is no matter what.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death. Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
If it's something that can't be seen, maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold. Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
He didn't have the strength to hit him like that. Real cause of Nagito's death. Is this something I overlooked?
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
That's true.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that.
He had poison in his room, so... The question is, how did it get there?
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all. If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
Yakuza.
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
Not
His
drink.
left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
He could still inhale it. Although, then where did the poison come from? Did he had something, a little package, capsule or something? That is also digested. He could have had a thing in his mouth already. But wouldn't that spring or burst when he was actually crying in fear or in pain?
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears!
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible.
To answer Fuyuhiko's question, how did he get it past his lips? To get it in the digestive system, unfortunately, even in the medical world, there is another entrance that can be used, even if the mouth is covered. And I'm not talking about needles. Yeah, you can figure out the rest from that. There are medicines that actually go in that way. It's not nice. It really doesn't feel good.
Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear!
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
The way the poison entered Nagito's body, the answer is written on the warning label. I should think carefully and try to remember it. Ooh, logic dive. I don't have much in the way of health. So please don't pop up really quickly right in front of me. Well, these are easy enough. Yoch. Oh yeah, I forgot all about this one. You need to actually have the speed. Oh. What state was the poison in when it affected Nagito? Solid, gas, liquid? I think it was gas. Because there was something. It was heavier than air. Youch. And then we're going that way. Please. Whew. Next part. No! I forgot about this. You need to have some reflexes here. Although oh, they actually added some parts that you don't have to do. When did Nagito the poison enter? Well, through his wounds, through his mouth, through his nose. Well, gas goes easiest through the nose. I think they added something easier to the logic drive, because I could remember doing this previously when... Oh, only two? Okay. I could then do this previously, and I had to do some really awkward jumps over there. And those awkward jumps, they took a lot of my health away. That wasn't fun either. Well, it was kind of fun, but it was difficult if you got a Hangman's Gambit right before it or after it.
It's all coming together! What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
Because the reason we didn't breathe in the poisonous gas, I should be able to explain that mystery too. The smoke. Well, Monokuma said we couldn't enter. Monokuma merged the sprinklers and the fire, but I think the sprinklers it was volatile to water or something. That water could undo it. But also Monokuma asked to wait out the smoke, so I'll start with this one.
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air, it breaks down in minutes, and it is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Pretty much.
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was lying down.
Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
Oh shit. Yeah. Now the question is, how did the poison get there? How was the poison triggered? And was this a suicide? Or suicide by means?
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death.
We got a new mystery. How did the poison ended up getting in the air? If it was knocked over, then that means Akane triggered it, and thus Akane is the killer. Ouch.
Alright, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but...
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Nagito's motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say? If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Good question.
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
It must have been disguised. If Nagito really brought poison to the warehouse, then the thing that would have been left behind is the container. The meat on the bone! Oh, that's a flashback to the first... Oh, that's cool. I never noticed that one. It should be the container.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
You can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container, away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Oh boy.
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
Or maybe the container
That is impossible!
is something...
I mean, an accomplice? It is just two!
Like, does that really matter all that much?
It might also be an unwilling accomplice. We might not have recognized it as a container.
I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right! You're totally right! That's totally it!
Is it?
Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this as Nagito's suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt. But...
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh?
shut up!
The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga. Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet!
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
Akane, if you swipe it under the rug, and the accomplice was an unwilling accomplice that actually pulled the trigger, like, for example, opening up a door, then we're all gonna die. And only one is going to live. What is this feeling just now? Even though it was brief, it was like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Akane said just now might be a new clue. From there, I might be able to reach the answer. The way Nagito brought the poison, which means the thing he used as a container was... a Hangman's Gambit, that's why I don't like it. Let's get rid of everything. Fire grenade, that was it. I need the A! I need the A! I don't need this, I need grenade A. I need a D, I need a D. And now I need the E, and that's the E. Whew.
I got it!
I'm glad I put this on gentle. This would have killed me.
I see! I got it!
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse. It can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
And that is probably why he removed all the other fire extinguishing materials as well. Still doesn't really give a clue on why it took so long for the sprinklers to activate. Usually they should have started sooner, especially because they had to run to the factory first.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but... the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible! Miss Sonia just said so right now!
We have the evidence.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade. Huh?
Sonia's words contain a clue that the contents of the fire grenade were swapped with the poison. We have a piece of blue paper, aluminum paper, even. Yeah, this one is it.
I can prove it with this! Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in and died, right?
But when was the canister opened? And who brought it actually to the factory?
So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide! Enough already!
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
The thing is, those canisters break upon impact. From where did Nagito throw it? If his right hand was stabbed with a knife, his left hand was holding the spear. How could he have crushed it that it came in the exact same place where all the other fire canisters were thrown?
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding. You're right. In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide. No, it's not.
Chiaki?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Realized what?
One of
We know
you.
Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
The moment the fire grenades were brought and the moment Nagito breathed in the poison were the same? Could that same moment be when we all threw the grenades? Not to mention the fire grenade shatter that had the poison had to be among the other grenades, so it had to be in the same place. Shatter in the same place.
I see!
Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito. If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us?
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. The Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
What the heck? You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Nagito. Huh? The person who prepared the poison fire grenade was Nagito himself.
I see!
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poison grenade?
There was Nagito as well. The person who set the warehouse fire was Nagito as well.
I see!
He planned it all.
That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
So that all of us would throw the fire grenades. To make someone throw the poison.
I see! Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh?
And that is the shrewdness about this plan from Nagito. There is no evidence that clearly states who threw the poison bottle. You need to know which one of the bottles was the actual poison bottle from those fire grenades. You need to have known which of the bottles he swapped out and who picked that bottle. The only way you could have known this is when you would have checked for the missing aluminum paper before you threw it. But if you did that, then you would have poisoned yourself. Or you probably wouldn't have thrown it. That's not what's crossing the mind, so this is Nagito's conundrum. Nagito's trap. It is impossible to say who actually threw it. Not unless you can track that bottle from beginning to end and even go back in time to see how the bottle itself traveled. But does Monokuma actually have that? Does Monokuma actually have done that? Or is he just gonna say this is a Nagito suicide? Because he masterminded it all. But he's always said the one who pulls the trigger is the one that is the black end. The question alone is, can he even determine who the black end is? Does he know, or is he going to wing it this time?
Could it be? Was that Nagito's trap?
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
What? What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him? To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison. And then...
Hold on. If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
That's also true.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body, it was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved. As you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces! For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick. Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
It is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry. Please vote me as the killer.
That doesn't make you the killer. Just because you told about the fire grenades doesn't make it so that you actually threw the one grenade that was poison. Damn, Nagito, you are one messed up person. The levels of crazy that you display, that's just messed up. I think Monokuma has a hard time rivaling that one. He can bask in the glory of it, but jeez.
That's not the fucking issue here!
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we could make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is, right?
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras.
He doesn't need the surveillance cameras if we can believe Monomi.
If Monokuma doesn't know, his trial doesn't count. Isn't that right?
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
How can you? I'm so jealous. I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your very best to
What
guess
the
who
heck?
the killer is.
Guess, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do? No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
Really?
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning?
You mean...
I want to make sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please,
That's right, it doesn't mean the trial is over yet. Even though I don't know who killed Nagito, it should be clear what kind of trap he set. Then I have to do it. Even if it leads to despair.
I got it. Let's do this then.